What is right with your child? My name is Annette and I'm the creator of Effortless Parenting, and I believe that parenting doesn't have to be this hard and that you deserve a calmer home. I was speaking with a friend a few days ago, and we were just reflecting on our parenting and on what we want for our children. And I just would like to use this video today to reintroduce myself and maybe share a little bit what this Adlerian approach to parenting is about. And we've been observing that that children that were born in the last decade have a bit of a different approach to the children who, let's say, came before 2012. And you might be a parent of a very young child right now, or maybe a child of primary school or teenage years, and there seems to be a lot of children who would like something different, who are no longer in fear to say no, possibly to you or to their teacher, and who don't quite feel that they fit in. And there are also a lot of worried parents out there at the moment whose children are being diagnosed and with maybe a disorder, and parents come to me. It's quite challenging, and we were pondering and wondering when we had a chat whether maybe instead of asking when parents or teachers or even psychologists ask what is wrong with the child, should we possibly be asking what is right with the child and what is wrong with the system. And this is what this parenting approach I've been sharing here. I've had a YouTube channel for over a year now, and that's what I'm always offering, to look at a different and a new approach that is neither punitive or authoritarian, that traditional way, and neither permissive and where we give in to our child. And I wish I could use my two hands right now, but I just wanted to explain it like this. I'm always looking for simpler ways how to explain this to you, and it's not something that you don't already know. What is really revolutionary about the approach I found is that you will learn skills and tools that really work and that are that happy medium. So let's say, for example, I was you, the parent, and my hand here was your child. So the aim always is that we're respectful with each other and on eye level, and while you are the leader of the pack and you have more experience in life and you've made mistakes and learned to make better choices, your child still wants to feel like that equal. And in that old way of parenting, the child was down here and you were the parent and you were looking down at them, and a lot of the time telling them what to do, and it's because I say so. And that can breed a lot of resentment in the child, or even retreat or rebellion. And then with the other parenting style that is more permissive, so you're the parent again, and your child then has a lot more freedom than you, and you're kind of almost looking up to your child and you feel submissive to your child. And then what we're raising is a child who believes that everything revolves around them. And what we're also observing is that then that can lead into somebody who hasn't learned in childhood how to deal with the hardships of life, and then that child may insist that only that one narrative counts. That's something that is really close to my heart, because I grew up in a regime where only one narrative counted, and anybody who challenged the status quo was just not accepted. So that brings me back to this point, you know, and in the last few years I've been referring to this as a unity style of parenting. And you may have wondered as well, you know, how can I let my child be part of this unit? And I always hold the circle, and within the circle allow my child the freedom to explore their truth and their freedom, and see that there is also responsibilities. So in this Adlerian approach to parenting, it's all about that, you know. How do we raise children who are ready for the future, and who respect others, and also know when their boundary has been crossed, and to stand up for themselves. So it's always this dance and this happy medium of you know, you might have a child that is on the more sensitive side, and who you would like maybe to stand up for themselves more, or you might have a child who just takes a bit of advantage of that sibling, and that child needs to you know, be shown to have a bit more empathy towards others. And it's a constant course correction and bringing it back to this happy balance. And yeah, so I'm this month all about new stuff. It's a new season here and in Ireland, and I'm going to offer and launch a good few new services, and it starts with an introduction to effortless parenting. It's a 3-week course that's going to take place on the 1st, 8th and the 15th of March. I'm going to put all the details in the link below. And it's through Zoom, so you can join me from wherever you are between 8 and 10 p.m. And yeah, and then I'm going to also launch a new service for couples. So I'm going to be working with mothers and fathers. So in the last decade, my main clientele has been mothers, and I believe it's now time to bring the fathers on a little bit more. Especially when it comes to emotional parenting. And I really have seen that fathers do want this, and it can be a very nice thing that the two of you two together. So I'm going to share more on this. And I'm also going to relaunch my Effortless Flow membership. So that's a more long-term approach over 3 and 6 months, where we meet like bi-weekly, and you can take part of group coaching calls and hear from other parents how they're doing and how they're finding it. Because I really believe that there is so much that we benefit from hearing about each other's journey and sharing that experience. And that's what I'm all about. I also started a community support group, which at the moment is free, where we meet and specifically kind of hone down on our children and teens on screens and how we deal with that. And there's one coming up in a couple of weeks as well. And yeah, and of course you can work with me privately as well. I offer private consultations for you and maybe a partner. And lastly, I want to leave you with this. My son made this camera for me from Lego a few weeks ago, and I'm also all about helping us, and I say us because I learned so much as well from other parents. And what I'm all about is this. I was just with a client during the week who had a 1-year-old, and it just brought me back to when my children, they're 12 and 9 now, and when they were that young, and you know, when they were you just wanted to kiss and hug them all the time, and they were just so adorable. And what I am doing with my work is I'm helping you to go back to that place, you know, when sometimes maybe it can feel like it's a real struggle as a parent. I'm going to strip all these beliefs we have about how parenting should be, and I'll bring you back to what that was like. And what I have also, I'm going to come back to this in a second, what I've learned about parenting and love is that love means saying no, and it can mean that as well. And because when we say no to someone else, and that goes for any relationship, then that ultimately is a yes to us. And when it comes to our children, it's a yes in the long term to our child. So what I would like you to do today, unless you're having a very tough day, then maybe try this out tomorrow, is to imagine that you sit there in just a moment where you appreciate your children so much. And let's say this was an old camera where we still print out the pictures, and this picture was to go into your album for today. And then what is it that you appreciate about your child today? And you don't only need to take a picture of your child, but maybe take a picture of yourself and say something what you appreciate about yourself today, you know, of how you are still standing as a parent, and you are managing. So thank you very much for listening. You can connect with me through my email, and you can also book a 20-minute free call to get to know me and see if this is for you, and see if it resonates. And I look forward to meeting you.